I'm Ashton Addison from BlockWest Capital for Investment Pitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Samuel Stebbins, CEO and founder of Space Misfits. Sam, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Very welcome. Let's dive deep into gaming, GameFi, blockchain, NFTs, all that good stuff. I would love to kick off our conversation about Space Misfits. Can you talk about the game, what inspired you to start it, and just a little bit about what makes it so amazing?
Yeah, Space Misfits is a massive multiplayer play-to-earn blockchain game. That's a lot of a mouthful there, but basically we're creating a really fun space game. This is a space shooter. It's not a simulation or anything like that. You're not going to see, really realistic flight controls. It's a really fun space game to play.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking advantage of the NFT implementation and play to earn. So I'm sure we'll get deeper into the NFT implementation and how we're using it, but we just are creating something that is just going to be awesome. We have a lot of different kind of gameplay coming out. We have procedurally generated worlds. Players can kind of immerse themselves inside and just fight NPCs, fight each other, and just battle that out for resources out in space. And I would say, like, inspiration-wise, like where I came from, I played a lot of EVE Online and Elite Dangerous and things like that. And I'm just a big lover of space. And so I wanted to create a space game that's really a metaverse that has games inside. So, we're not just creating a space game, we're also creating a first-person shooter inside and things like that. So we're creating a lot of games inside that are all going to be wrapped up in the same storyline and lore and everything. So it's just going to be a really fun space game to play.
Very cool, Sam. And yeah, I have been looking into metaverse games and GameFi, and two of my favorite categories so far have been the space category and also FPS as well. So combining them in together to have a shooter that is in space sounds very exciting. And I'm curious a little bit more about, you talked about the NFT integrations. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but I want to know, first of all, the balance between creating a game and then integrating in blockchain, a marketplace, cryptocurrency, NFTs, all this other stuff. Where does that balance lie, and how much have you focused on making sure that the gameplay is the number one thing?
Yeah, I think that's key. I think you nailed it. There's a lot of play-to-earn games out there that kind of skip the whole play part, and it's more of a DeFi application than anything else. Mm-hmm. We feel like we're building a really fun game to play, and we want to be able to say that even if play-to-earn wasn't there, players would still play our game. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an important aspect because the markets are they're so all over the place. And if you're creating a game that is only to earn, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So our balance comes the fact that we want to bring on the traditional gamer that wants to come on and play a really fun game and then learn about the blockchain and play to earn, because that's where mass adoption is going to come from, is really from the traditional gamer. So we really built a way for our game for players to come on board, to play without syncing wallets or any of those sort of things. They can just come on and play the game, and they want to get deeper into it and get into that play to earn aspect. They can by linking their wallets and the community kind of helping them through that process. So that's the balance we struck, is really just trying to create a really fun game first, and then have that layer of play to earn as a huge carrot for players.
Great, Sam. Yeah, the gameplay is definitely important, and I'm glad that there's a focus on that, and also helping get people in that aren't in cryptocurrency to start using NFTs and having that community support, which I think will be one of those points that is going to be essential for games that are in metaverses and GameFi, to have communities working together for a common goal. And with this game, we were talking a little bit before, you're talking about how it's fully functional, it's ready to go. I know that developing games, regardless of if they even have a blockchain, is a very intensive process, and there's a lot of detail that goes into it, especially games that have good graphics or they're an MMO that have a lot of functionality. Can you talk about your team, how long you've been working on this, and where exactly you're at with the game right now?
Sure, yeah. So we started in 2019 with a small team. We did some NFT pre-sales that gave us some initial funding, but we've basically been bootstrapping this whole thing. We have focused on development and getting the game out prior to do any kind of major sales or anything like that. We had a very small team, about 4 to 5 of us, that's been building this game since 2019. Now a turnaround in 2021. Since this summer, we have nearly 18 people working on the project now. So a much bigger team now. We're getting into now the token launch and everything. The big separator between us is our token launch is going to correspond with our player-driven marketplace. So when we release our token, our player-driven marketplace will be out too, allowing players to use their actual tokens in the game and start playing with it right away. And we're timing it in a way that, we're not just launching an IDO and then people waiting to use their tokens. They're going to be using these game tokens right away. And purchase ships and items and modules and turrets all in a player-driven marketplace. So
very cool. And yeah, I'd love to talk a little bit more about the NFTs, the functionality just in the game, and then how that ties into the marketplace. Do you go and earn NFTs, or you can just go buy them right away? How does that all work?
Yeah, so we're doing things a little different than a lot of space games that are coming out and starting development. You're not actually buying a ship when you buy an NFT from us. You're buying a blueprint. That blueprint allows you to build as many ships as you want, and those ships are in the marketplace. So players will, as they get better and better at crafting ships, they can then place those ships on the player-driven marketplace and sell them for our token to other players who don't own the blueprints and who can't buy, or can't build. So it pretty much gives them a right to build in the game. So you're not just buying a ship and they can use that ship and then you can lose that ship. You're basically buying the rights to become a builder in our game.
Very cool. I like that. And you mentioned there about the token. I saw that there's a token ecosystem and there's actually multiple tokens. Can you talk about how that fits into it, and is it required, or are there bonuses for using it? How does that work?
Yeah, so we have 2 tokens. We have the Crown token that's launching in January. That's going to be a staking token, also a DAO token as well, but that token is going to be used in the marketplace. So I'm a new player. I pick up some tokens from the exchange, and then I can start buying ships on the marketplace. The builders, though, they need bits. Bits is an in-game currency that can only be earned in the game. Bits is very liquid. It's used to purchase fuel and services and all these different things in the game. But crafters also need a lot of bits in order to build ships. So we've created 2 tokens basically in a traditional DeFi concept where you have crafters needing bits and then buying those bits from grinders who are earning the bits in the game. And then the players those crafters are earning Crown tokens in the player-driven marketplace. So we've got this nice ecosystem and kind of a full circle between these 2 tokens where there is that play to earn from grinders who are grinding the bits.
Very cool. And I want to go back to that, but I just want to talk a little bit about the players as well, and more on the NFTs. You mentioned it's possible to earn them. I've seen other games that they release NFTs through their socials or through other contests, or there's other ways for the communities to get involved. I know communities are a very important part of building GameFi games. Maybe you can just talk about the community and if that is a part of it.
Yeah, so the NFTs, we do a lot of giveaways. You can follow us on Twitter and Twitch and all that. We have an official Twitch stream from our internal team that does constant giveaways for NFTs and things like that. And these are blueprints, and they're very limited blueprints too, and their value is quite high with the limited player base that we have right now. So as player base scales and these blueprints become more and more in demand, they're going to be worth quite a bit. But you can also buy these blueprints on our website, just with cryptocurrency or fiat or anything like that, and then you just send those NFTs to your wallet, and then you can immediately start using them in the game to build ships. And there's also turrets, so you can install turrets on your ships, and there's blueprints for that. And there's also blueprints for modules that you install on your ship as well.
Very cool. I really do like how you can get the blueprint and you're not just buying a ship, because there's a lot more utility there to be able to build for the future.
Exactly. And there's a lot of proof of work behind that, because in order for you to earn, you have to do the work. You have to grind resources, or you're buying resources from other players. So there's plenty of proof of work involved, and I feel like you need people actually playing your game. You can't have people holding tokens and holding NFTs and staking NFTs because they're not actually playing the game. You need people actually playing your game. So
definitely. And I'm curious on your vision moving into the longer term for the game. How is the team gonna keep high retention of the players and make sure that there's not just an exciting boom and then a drop off of active users, and maintain a community for the long term?
Yeah, and I just go back. It's all about the gameplay. It's all about how fun your game is. And players are going to choose. They might choose to play a game that maybe earn them more, but those games are not sustainable if they're not fun to play, and they're going to treat it more like a job than anything else. We feel like this game is going to be really, really fun to play. And there's going to be plenty of opportunities to earn too. And I feel like that's the balance you need to strike. And I think the focus really should be in the gameplay. And we've seen it. We hold events where we have drops, and players spend hours upon hours just playing the game. But the feedback we always get is that the game is really fun to play, and that they're willing to spend the time in there. And like I mentioned, they just really enjoy the gameplay.
That's great to hear, Sam. And yeah, I'm actually gonna check it out right away. But I also am looking forward to the player-driven marketplace that you were talking about. Maybe we can just talk about 2022 moving forward. I know that's one of the first things in the beginning of the year. Can you talk about the marketplace and the upcoming launch?
Yeah, the marketplace is super exciting because it's like the backbone of our play to earn. Marketplace is currently in testing right now by our internal team, and we should be launching that in a few weeks. So basically it's huge because players can now build and craft and then put those items on the marketplace. And there's other things they need to do in the game to earn other tokens to become a better crafter too. And we call that telemetry. And these are more drops that you can earn in the game. And as you collect more, it's like experience points, and you become a better crafter. So, not only do you need to own the blueprint and build, but you also need to do tons of work in the game to become a better builder. And to increase your earnings, you need to spend a lot of time in the game. We just feel like that's going to be sustaining that player base, and it's not just a crafter building ships, and it's a lot more work involved and a lot more resource gathering and getting better at building your ships. So, but the marketplace itself, it's player driven, and it's going to be launched here in a few weeks. And then once we launch our IDO and we do our token generation event where we get our token out there, we'll be implementing that token. We're actually on the Harmony network. When it comes to our token, they have incredible transactions per second, and they have great tech behind it. So we're going to be on a gasless network where players can exchange their tokens without having to pay a tremendous amount of fees. And so we're not just dipping into their wallet.
Very cool. I didn't know it was on Harmony. We recently had them on the show as well, and they are working on a lot of things. So it's great to hear that the game has gasless fees, because especially with people that are just playing games, trying to keep the cost down, and more earning rather than spending is a good thing.
Yeah, Harmony, they have a great ecosystem, and they're just growing too. They're onboarding, and they have a massive fund where they just keep onboarding more and more technology over, more companies over on top of their technology. So,
very cool, Sam. And let's just say 3 to 5 years from now, how do you envision Space Misfits in the industry, in GameFi?
Yeah, I just wanted to be a metaverse of games inside. Instead of our studio creating multiple games with multiple tokens, I want to scale vertically and get a lot of games inside that all wrap up in the lore. So, we're going to have players walking on planets and managing planet outposts and resources, and they're going to be shipping these resources to stations that will hit the marketplace and everything. So I have this big vision of just a massive ecosystem, a massive metaverse where players are taking on different roles, whether it's a trader, a grower on a planet, a bounty hunter, a pirate, so there's gonna be a lot of different roles, and between FPS combat that I'm really excited about, the space shooter combat. I want Star Wars. I want people racing in pods. So
Love it.
with the funding that we're acquiring this year, we can start doing some amazing things. And we've stayed very lean. Like we've accomplished and done a lot with very little. And it's something to say about our team. We have an amazing team. And they built a lot and we bootstrapped this thing. So the funding that we're getting now is just going to explode, and we're going to have years of runway ahead of us to really grow this game into something that is unique. If you take a look at other space games, they're going for the more realistic look, and ours is more that lower poly, like really fun game, and it's not so serious. So it's going to have a lot of funny moments. It's going to be a very social game, and it's my passion. It's my baby. So
I can hear it in your voice, Sam. And yeah, that does sound like an amazing future of games within games, all in the metaverse. I'm really looking forward to that. But first of all, let's get to the player-driven marketplace you were talking about and the IDO launch. I know that's going to be exciting for the community upcoming. Can you please let the viewers know where's the best place to learn about that so that they can get involved before the marketplace launches and play the game right now?
Yes, so our launch pads that we're going to be on is with Seedify, Engine Starter, and Ignition. And so they can join those communities to get involved in the IDO process. We're also talking to some exchanges that will, we'll list our token after the IDO, so they can get involved there as well.
Great.
We're very conservative in our token and our price and everything, and we are not, we know where we stand, and we're not being overly aggressive on the valuation and all that. So, so players can scoop up their tokens, but the biggest things, these are game tokens. They're not really focused on the speculative part, but they're focused on the utilization instead, and really using our tokens in the game to grow and progress through the game.
Great, Sam. I will leave those links to all the community and the website, everything in the description box below as well. All the best on the upcoming launch and throughout 2022. I know we will speak again, so let's follow up in the near future.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.